Alright, everyone, welcome to our second session for training today. I hope you all had a good break. This will be our second debate for today for the Vegas debating family. This motion will be a kind of fun or entertaining motion because the motion is in a world where superheroes exist. As the government, this house would have a registration system for the heroes, such as identification, annual income, and protection, etc. Team 1 will be Zaidan as the first speaker and Aga as the second speaker. Team 2 will be Risti as the first speaker and Geral as the second speaker. I will be acting as the chair adjudicator for this round with Aina accompanying me as my panel. So without further ado, let us call upon the first speaker of the government team. The time is yours. Here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Risti as the first speaker of the government. For today's motion is in a world of where superheroes exist. As the government, this house will have a registration system for the heroes. First, I'm give you the definition of the superheroes. Superheroes is human with superpower or power than average human have. Doesn't matter where they get that power, and they're prohibited to use in a war. They're classified as the same as the biological weapon. And the definition of the registration system is a system to make the superhero registered and listed by government, so
Bruh.
they under the
Bruh.
government control. Our goal with
Hello.
the registration system is to prevent the superheroes attack or betray the government because overall they still a human. They can do whatever they want. And our mechanism is human with superpower will automatically registered as superheroes under the government so the government can control their behavior and activity to not break the rules of the country and being anarchy. They have to collaborate with the government about using their power so there will a zero misuse of power. And why we should do this is because government have to cooperate the superheroes so the country will decrease the number of crimes and the society have a good environment to live. My second speaker will bring the best scenario and the worst scenario and the argument. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech. Risti. To continue the debate, I call upon the first speaker of the opposition team, Zaidan. The time is yours. Here.
Alright, so I'm Zaidan as the first speaker of the opposition team and would like to start. So first of all, I will tell you what definitions are. In our opinion, superheroes are individual with extraordinary ability. So it can be the power of flying, the super fast, or super strength. Our goal is to actually uh, let this hero make their own choices and to keep them as someone unknown. And how we are going to do this? Just to let them do their job, do their daily task, and uh, no problem will come there. So superhero, what they do is of course fighting evil. So what's bad, uh, they have to solve it. And the government wants the superhero to join the government so that um they won't be uh, as if as a so they won't have a bad image. Society doesn't really matter because at they what they want is so that they are protected from all the bad things. So coming to my first argument is if we let all the superhero have a registration so where they live or what they do, they they won't be unknown anymore. So they won't be anonym and they will be in danger because if people know uh, their identity, it can affect their family or friends. And even though only the government knows it, sooner or later that information will eventually leak. And if a villain or someone bad gets that information, that person could really be in danger, and the superhero can be gone. Next argument: if the government will actually kind of own those superhero, some of the action that they do will be limited by the government. As for example, they are given a task to go somewhere, but there is currently a disaster going on in a city, and they want to go there to solve it. The government won't allow it because they already are given the task to go there. So that means by limiting their action, also by actually limiting the good deeds they do. And also, if all the superheroes are given registration and annual income, um, it's not cheap to give superheroes money, and it's also not really good idea to give our money. There are more um, there are more ways to spend that money, because superhero have already their own life, and even with that fame alone, they can already get enough. uh, and also that uh, if um, if those superheroes will be kind of uh, chased as a villain, or doesn't mean that they are bad. It's like they are, you can assume that they are like private companies, so it doesn't mean that they are having a they have a bad intention. No, they have different ways to solve their problems, and but the government won't look it as a positive side. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you for the speech. To close the case of government, let's call upon the second speaker of government team. Gerald, the time is yours. Here, here.
Okay, everyone. My name is Gerald, and I'm the second speaker of the government team. So today motions, as we already know, and this is my first argument. Imagine if our world have a lot of superheroes, and imagine if one of them turned into a villain. If we, as a government, if we register the superheroes, that means they are the government's control. They are under the government's control. They are not they are not became a fugitive. With this register, the government know each the superhero's power and weakness. So if one of them try to betray the government know what to do to stop them. And the second one is if the government resign all the superheroes, that also means that the government and the superheroes are cooperate. This will make a better world. And the third one is we will also make a law that makes superhero could fight back if the government become misuse the superheroes power. The government are not always be good, because when a human have a full control over power, they become greedy and misbehave. So we have each other and we protect each other. Our best case scenario is the world is getting better because of all human and superheroes are knowing each other, better cooperate if we know each other. Our worst case scenario, if the superhero becoming evil, the government will still know how to control them and even stop them. And if the government and when they turn back, if the government become greedy with the power and control, superheroes could fight back and solve the problem. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech, Gerald. To close the debate, let's call upon the last speaker of the opposition team. Aga, the time is yours. Here, here.
I'm here as the second speaker of the opposition team, and first of all, I want to rebuttal some of the things that have been said in the government. So, they say that superhero can still be villain. You're right. I actually agree with that. But the thing is that even if are registered, they are registered, they can still be villain. the reason they are superheroes in the first place is because, like what we have said before, that they have extraordinary abilities. So that means that they cannot be stopped by simple means. That means that the only one that can stop superheroes are another superheroes and not the government. That means the government doesn't really have a big of an impact in this thing. And you say that you want to make a law that is that provide superheroes the right to fight back against the government if they did something bad. You have to remember first that this law is made by the government. Even though they say that there is this law, they can still obstruct it. And if they can still obstruct it, that means there's no point of this thing in the whole thing. So, moving to my argument, why do we think that superheroes should remain hidden? First of all, I want to say that if he became public, he became he or she will become some sort of public figure. He will be known by the public, and the public will know him. So his private life will be leaked. That means it's an additional information to the one that commit crimes or feel it. They can actually know what's the power of superheroes or whatever thing this thing says if they actually register to the government. So, and what like my first speaker has just said, he and his family will be in danger. Nobody wants that because I think the goal of superheroes in the first place, the goal of someone that upholds justice is to save people, not to receive recognition. So if they actually register to the government, they, he and his family would be in danger. That would not be his goal. We would obstruct his goal. That means it's not a good thing. So my next argument is that we should focus to the villain. We have like superhero and the government have a mutual enemy, villain, right? And those people uh, are bad in general. But the you mentioned how the superheroes should register to the government. That means the one who aren't registered to the government are vigilant. But we have a mutual enemy, which is the villain. We should not add more enemy to confuse, to like to add more things into the table. We should have superhero and the villain, and that's it. We should not add any more thing in the table. That would confuse even more people, and it's like that. So we, and the next thing, my argument is that if the superhero will be given annual income, which they don't really play in the government team, and protection, which again doesn't really explain, but the if the superhero is actually registered, that means the existence policy will be used. Why is that? Because remember, the existence of police in the first place are to fight crime. And what are superheroes for then? If superheroes are already exist in the first place, that would mean there will not be any kind of use to the police. But if the superhero does not register to the government, police can still fight against the normal crime or like normal thing. And the superheroes can go and fight against like a superhero's thing, the big thing. So if we actually make the superhero remain hidden, that means the existence of police will be still there, and superheroes would not get threatened, or their existence will not be threatened by others who knows his uh, private thing. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech, Aga. So that concludes our debate for today. Uh, Me and Aina will give our feedback through the debate and the result of the debate. So please wait for about 10 minutes here, and then we'll be back.